something on
Yeah,
this.
it's going to be live right now. We're just going to put the basic info.
Coming at you with another video.
Awesome.
What is up, everybody? Let's welcome my co-host, the newest member of the roundtable we're going to work on, but I'm going to give my co-host a try since she's new to this type of platform. Let's welcome Bella. How's it going?
Hi. Good. How are you?
How's it going? You know, we're working on the right direction, you know, but hey, I know this game was a little crazy, right? Who would have thought that?
Hey. It was the comeback game. It was the game that we needed, and we're back, baby. That's what it is we are back. The defense was exactly what we knew it would be. I mean, the score said it itself. So I think we really needed that game. I think that it really set the tone to remind people of who we are as the 49ers.
Yeah. When you were watching that game, did you really expect it to be a good game? Let's be honest, we all were kind of guilty in that category.
Honestly, I was nervous. I was like, the Jags have been doing great, right? Didn't they win like 5 in a row already? And I didn't know what to expect. I thought it either could be a really tight, close-knit game, or I'll be really honest, I was like, there's a possibility, right? It's NFL. Maybe we lose. But I honestly thought it was going to be more of a close-knit game. To see the team go out the way we did, like the first drive, right? Didn't we score on the first drive when we had possession?
Yeah, we did.
That set the tone for the whole game, to me, in my opinion. What did you think? Did you think it was going to be a close? What was your initial reaction or your prediction?
I was going to be straight up honest. Like, I just thought this was going to be a very close game. Like, even when I was going to my sleep, I was like thinking, I just hope we win. Yeah. Like, I was just coming off my graveyard shift, laying down. And when I woke up, I'm like, wait, we're up by 10 points. And it's getting into halftime. And then my only concern about this game is Jake Moody, man. This guy has to be consistent a little. I mean, he's lucky he made the kicks, but doesn't that kind of concern you a little bit with his kicking game a little bit?
I will tell you this. I remember it was preseason, and I don't think we had a kicker yet. And my biggest concern was like, we don't have a kicker. I'm a big fan of Robbie Gould, and I was like, why don't we pay him? Because big games really come down to those kicks. In my opinion, it always comes down to the kicker sometimes. And those Super Bowl games and that last game, who did we play that Moody missed the field goal?
Ooh, it was the Vikings. The Vikings on Monday night, he missed that kick, and then at Cleveland Browns game, he missed 2 of those field goals.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm not the biggest fan of him. I understand he's a rookie. I get it. I'm not the biggest Robbie Gould fan.
It's a little concerning, you know. Like in the first 5 weeks, he was making automatic kicks, and it just seemed kind of like, okay, he might be the answer, you know, but. Then I started just having my doubts with this guy. Like what we saw against Jacksonville, he barely made the kicks.
I know. I agree. Whenever he's up, my hands get sweaty and I don't know what to do, and I have to pace around the whole place. I don't know. But let's talk about, or I want to know your opinion. Who do you think in that game was like the MVP? Who was the all-star in that game?
The MVP, can it be on both sides of the ball, right?
Both sides of the ball. Could even be coaching staff. Like,
you know what? I gotta say the MVP on defense was Steve Wilkes. He went into the sideline, he made a difference, but I think the first 5 weeks nobody was complaining about it. But I think he actually had a little bit of motivation on the sidelines with a DB, so maybe that factor into our defense playing good ball. The offensive MVP to me, I think Brock Purdy had one of his best field days, but I got to say Trent Williams was the MVP because without him, the running game would have not been a difference. The way he kind of was present on the football field, that just shows how much of a difference he was and how much he was missing. So, you know, we can go either here or there about Trent Williams. I just think him being out there is just a boost to our running game.
I mean, absolutely. And I think the games we lost, I mean, no surprise. Debo was out. Trent was out. You have them back in this game. Everyone's coming off of a bye. Everyone's healthy. A healthy 49er team. That's Super Bowl contenders right there. 100%.
Yeah, like the injuries were kind of like a little of a factor, but we had guys stepping in, but it just didn't seem the same with two of those guys. Like when you saw what they did going into the field, did you see the different vibe, how they just were getting back to that boombox a little bit?
Yeah. And I will say, because I know there was video of this too, with the boys coming out and the boombox and, you know, celebrating and that vibe and that energy. The fact that Chase Young was right there front and center with them, you could tell he fit right in. And the way him and Bosa played together too, they were having fun. That was football. That was fun to watch. You knew they were having fun. And I just thought all around that's what football should be. You can tell that they're having fun and playing really well.
Oh yeah. Like when you saw the way they brought that same energy, even in the sidelines, they felt like they missed those days at Ohio State. So you saw the energy. They were both racing to the quarterback, a lot of the disruptive factors. Like, you know what really caught me by surprise was a lot of the criticism says, I don't think getting another pass rush would help your secondary issues. But if we were to be very realistic and critical about it, like there is a little bit of an issue in the secondary, but lucky for our defense, we're able to avoid it. Hopefully with Womack coming back, we can at least fix that area because I feel like the nickel spot has been one of the biggest, weakest links, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. No, I know you've been talking about that. Okay, here's another thing. I know a lot of people were talking about, you know, it was a 3-game a losing streak. What do you think happened and changed other than we saw, you know, Debo and Trent come back? What do you also think happened? Do you think it was the bye that really helped them? What do you think meshed it all together? Do you think it was Chase Young? Because the way they played on Sunday was like they were the first 5 weeks.
Well, they were beat up a little bit. There was a lot about the players saying that they needed that bye week so bad because they were coming off injuries. They were dinged up a little bit. But even getting Chase Young not only just made the defense better, it boosted the defensive line because all that money for nothing, like everybody was criticizing, hey, why did we pay so much money for Javon Hargrave? It should be easy for Nick Bosa. We paid Bosa loads of money. What's the production at? You know, it's like those 3 losses. It was like, where was Bosa? Where's he been?
Yeah.
And I know I was doing like a milk carton joke about it. Like, where did he go? It's like, but now he's back. He's looking like he's a little bit back to what he was. But
yeah,
I feel like a bye week kind of gave them what they needed because they were just talking about they needed this so badly because they were beat mentally. Yeah, they were so beat mentally.
Yeah, sorry, I lost you a little bit right there. Okay. Yeah. So the bye came at the perfect time.
Yep. It came at a perfect timing.
Perfect.
Yeah. You good? I guess the reception's a little bad, huh?
I think the reception is bad. I'm getting you a little bit later, I think. Can you hear me now? Good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
I don't know. Something's wrong with the Wi-Fi sometimes. But like you just said, when we were going through, like the bye week was much needed. I think that's what they needed the most because they were beat up mentally.
Yeah. How do you feel that Christian McCaffrey didn't get or break the record? How do you feel about that? With he has 17 touchdowns for every game. He could have broken the record and had 18. do you feel about that he didn't get that?
Ooh, I do like how you're giving me these good questions right here. Man, I think that just feels him more now. Now I think he wants to get 2 touchdowns a game now because I think when what he said in the press conference, he was being sarcastic.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, inside of his head mentally, I definitely think he wanted to break the record, but maybe this will get him to do more touchdowns because sometimes a missed opportunity, they were trying to give him the ball on 4th down and it just didn't work.
Yeah, no, for sure. Do you think there's anything to be said about like players and having to make sure that their own personal record like should be held to a standard too? Or do you think it's always going to be the team's, like the team needs to win regardless, right? But anything about like, man, that kind of sucks for him because that was a personal record that he could have broke?
Yeah, everybody wants to break records, but as a team collectively, it's all about winning ball games. Like even though he was very close to breaking the record, it's just sometimes records are just not meant to be broken for some reason. Maybe there's a purpose. Maybe he'll play better more to get another touchdown or 2.
Yeah.
And that builds on. But
yeah, totally can motivate him for sure. I believe that too. How do you feel that one, I don't remember what drive it was, but you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Purdy does the touchdown, doesn't do the touchdown. He sends it to Ayuk, remember? And there's like,
I know
right in the middle, the one that
it's just 4 defenders out there, and then it's just like some like miracle play. Like you would think, how the hell did he do that? Like it could have been an interception, but it was right on the money. Like that play, most quarterbacks throw an interception in that situation. But the way
100%.
Brock Purdy did it at a good spot. Like he was just lucky.
So we heard Kyle Shanahan after the press conference, like he was telling him like that was one of the biggest mistakes he's made, right? Yes, he made we got the touchdown, which is great. Horrible mistake. I remember watching it being like, oh my God, here goes an interception. Like he totally hit it. But the way that he caught that to me was like amazing. Like that was a pro shot right there. That's like a Joe Montana throw right there, right to the right person.
Yeah, the way he moves a little on the pocket, he's kind of like looking for that play, and then he's just putting it in good spots. Like there was this one play where he threw the ball towards Deebo Samuel, and you would figure how the hell did he make that throw? And then there was that one pass where a lot of defenders were all over Brock Purdy, and he still was able to deliver the ball to George Kittle.
Yeah.
Like if it was a clean pocket, that would have been an easy walked-on touchdown, but he did it with more defenders all over his face.
Yeah, no, definitely amazing. I think he, now don't they say that he's played a full year now? Hasn't he gone like a full year?
Well, basically, in what you're saying, yeah, because you include the 3 playoff games, but I think in the regular season, he's only played 14 total games. But if you look at the game samples, it's pretty impressive. Like, as far as like the way he's been able to execute the offense and play at the highest level, it's a lot for a quarterback. I don't think there hasn't been any other quarterback in the Shanahan era besides Jimmy Garoppolo who's executed the offense to the highest level. I mean, if you say outside of Matt Ryan, I would say Brock Purdy is the second closest to what this guy can be. He's got potential to be a really good quarterback. It's just we got to see what he's built from behind. I want to see that moment where we're down maybe by 10 points in the 4th quarter and a chance to move it down the field, make a comeback. We haven't seen that yet, but once we see that moment, then we'll know how legit he is. But I think we're not built from behind. We're built from having a lead. That's the difference.
Yes, and I feel like he's kind of proven it a little bit. It was the one that Moody missed the kick. That game.
Yeah, that was the one that I can give him a pass on because it was on Moody for making that field goal because he did take us down.
Exactly. But he got us there, right? He got us where it's like, I set you up. Now I'm handing it off. The duties are on to you. So I kind of saw that. And I think our defense helps, right, with games and us winning. I know a lot of people talk about Purdy, about what kind of quarterback he is. I don't know. I don't call him Mr. Irrelevant anymore. How do you feel like finally the Niners are no more curse of the quarterback? We got it. We're good.
I wouldn't say curse. Can we have our quarterback staying healthy for a full season? That's all I can ask for. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Brock Purdy has outperformed the expectation. He was supposed to be the guy on the practice squad or not make the team, but he went into a unique situation. Last year we went through 3 quarterback injuries in the regular season, and that should have been season over, but nope, we were just having that lucky season. Brock Purdy has shown he's not a fluke. I mean, if he was a fluke, he would have been having that issue with the elbow he had with the injury. But I think he's shown it. And I've heard that he still isn't fully recovered just yet. But once he gets back to the recovery form, I think he's only going to get better. The zip just needs a little bit better. But I think where he puts the ball, it's just where it needs to be.
Yeah, no, I think he's definitely shown that he has what it takes. And you're right. A team could have everything, the best defense, the best, all top of the lines, right? Grade A. It's the health of the team that really kind of determines how far I think you go into the whole season.
Oh, yeah. See, that's what I like about how this team is. We're all doing it as a team, but sometimes you're not going to always get your Patrick Mahomes or those type of quarterbacks because they're built differently. Like, they can come from behind, they can play with lesser talent, but a lot of what Brock Purdy has done is he's been executing this offense a lot better, because if some people keep saying he's a product of the system, then there's nothing wrong with it, because I've seen quarterbacks in Shanahan's offense fail, like CJ Beathard, another example, Nick Mullins, another example. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo was the best out of the other ones besides Brock Purdy, but the rest of them, you can't say he's just a product. He's just really good at that system.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm excited. I mean, I would rock his jersey all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. I'm a Brock Purdy fan.
Yeah, Mr. Relevant. I mean, I guess the label Mr. Irrelevant was just something just for him to feel good about, but I think that's kind of fired him up ever since he got drafted.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, I know you always hear the stories of, and the NFL is like scripted. And I was like, what a great story that would be. You take Mr. Irrelevant and you bring him to the Super Bowl, because that is just
it has Walt Disney written all over it too. So, but when you think about it, like it just has a good story to it. Like, who would have thought that way? And then there's just a lot of people praising about him before. Now they're writing him off, which is okay. I like when they write off players like him, because then he'll have something to prove. But yeah. So let's give a shout out to the people in the comments section just to give them a hello. Like Hurricane Mike is a Saints fan. Oh, Laura's one of my supporters of the channel. She's definitely welcome you on board. And then,
awesome.
Yeah, and then we got the troll, the Ram troll. He's a good dude. Niners all day. Daniel Barry. See, I get a couple of these followers every now and then, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, you're gonna get used to seeing these guys around those other round tables. But yeah,
they're good. Cool.
Yeah, Laura's one of them big supporters. David Corona's a good guy. He's a funny guy. A lot of everybody, they're welcome you with open arms. But
I so appreciate it.
Yeah, and the thing that caught my attention about you is you kind of do good on your TikTok videos, and you put some predictions and other takes. So I'm kind of like thinking, what could I work with? I need to have somebody consistent and even like you said, you're a quick learner. So I'm like thinking, okay, maybe I have something for her to work with, because I want to have somebody that's willing to learn and actually be more consistent. But yeah. I like your quality. So it's like, I see that you got high potential. You got the knowledge. You already know what you're talking about. You're already giving me questions. So it's like you already had the game a little bit.
I have questions for days. Next question is, how do you feel about Tampa coming in?
Ooh, Tampa. Now we're talking another ball game. Okay, so Tampa. What kind of makes it so interesting about Tampa is their defense is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their defense was legit last year. I don't know how much of a challenge they'll be. They have Vita Vea. Mm-hmm. Some of their edge rusher, they have Shaq Barrett, and then they have that linebacker White or David. That's it. Their secondary is a little bit suspect, but I like the matchup for Brock Purdy, because he should be able to have a field day against Tampa's secondary. The running game should be a little better, but I think everybody overlooks the Bucs' run defense a little bit. They're very solid when they're on point.
Okay.
But, their offense with Baker Mayfield, he's just a risk taker. Like, he's just a gunslinger. Like, one thing I can give respect to Baker is he's not afraid of throwing the ball deep down the field as often.
Okay. What do you think the score is going to be?
Oh, what I think the score is going to be?
Yeah.
We'll get to that, but
Okay,
I think the score is going to repeat the way how Brock Purdy played. I think I don't know. I don't want to sound too cocky, but I think we'll win by 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
I don't see no reason why we should lose to Tampa. They're not really that good. Like, Jacksonville's a far better football team than them.
Right. I would have thought the same. I like us hitting those 30 marks when we win. I like the score being at 30, so I want it to be somewhere in the 30s for sure. I did see that comment about, do I have a YouTube channel? I don't, but this might inspire me to have one. But I do have a TikTok that's all over the place.
Follow her on TikTok, and hey, that's the best way to inspire you, is to actually get you to do some of this YouTube content. So that's what I like to do, is help others and inspire others. And I already like what you're bringing to the table. So my only critique on you is, hey, you're asking too many questions, but that's a good thing. But that's a good thing to have. See, that's a good problem. So that's my critique, is you're a good question asker.
I do. I like to ask. I always want to know what people think and their opinions, and it's football. And this is a random question, but what got you into football? Like, how did you pick the Niners?
Oh, I'll give you a quick story about this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever told a lot of other people about it, but so I was born in the state of Texas. A lot of my families are Cowboy fans, but I lived in California when I was like 2 years old, because I was raised in Texas for 2 years of my life. And then my mom moved to California, lived around the San Jose area for quite majority of my life before I moved to the Central Valley.
Okay.
I guess watching Steve Young, watching a lot of the players, and it was just a local time type of thing, so watching their training camps at, like, before they even had it in Santa Clara, they would have it in Redwood City or somewhere down Rockland College or whatever, Rockland Place, whatever, or Stockton. They had stuff like that, but it was always a local thing. But I've always kept my eyes on Steve Young and Terrell Owens. But,
yeah, wow, yeah. I know.
But what really got me into being a Niners fan was because when I saw a lot of my families just kind of disappointed by the NFC Championship loss, it kind of gave me an idea, like, I don't have to be like them. I could just be like the other way around. I like being the bad guy. So once I saw the opportunity to be different than everybody else, once I saw that NFC Championship game in '94, I started following football ever since. But it's because I followed the team right off the bat. Steve Young was a pretty obvious choice because he was somebody I grew up watching. Like, he was just an awesome quarterback. Like, I don't know, like, even for Laura, I envy her for meeting my idol, because I never got a chance to meet him, but I met Brian Young.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. Good story. Yeah, I'm always fascinated. Like, how did you actually become a fan of this sports team? Like, how did that all originate for you? So cool.
Granddads are I grew up, like, mostly majority of my life in California, but I was born 2 years of my life, like, before. But Brownsville, Texas is like one of the most toughest cities in Texas, like in the borders. I grew up in a really tough, where a lot of cartels and a lot of that stuff. But my mom moved out because she couldn't get a good job market. A lot of job markets back then in Texas wasn't that big, so she moved down California. But I followed the team from San Jose, a lot of other. Like, it was just a common thing. When everybody was talking football, it would always be Niners football, all that stuff. My brothers were into it. My aunt was into it. So it wasn't like a difficult transition. Once I saw the conference championship game, I was sold.
I love it. That's really great.
What made you a fan?
Ooh. So my mom would always talk about Montana because he's Italian. So it was always this, there's the Italian playing football. So I remember, and I wasn't really around, right, during I'm giving away my age, but anywho, so let's go here. Montana's Italian, so automatically my parents are like in love, right? And I would always go over to my aunt's house, and my uncle was the Dallas Cowboys fan. Ooh. And one of my cousins was a Niner fan, and my other cousin was a Raider fan. And I'm sure a lot of people know this. The Raiders used to be in Oakland, and Bay Area rivals. So it would always be this unique wildness on Sundays with football and what was going on. And I remember, is it 94? Is that the one where 94. Dallas beat us, right? For the Super Bowl?
Well, it was like the two consecutive conference championship was the 92 NFC championship game, the 93. That was the year they actually beat us consecutive seasons. And then 94 is when we got over the hump.
I don't remember the year, but I remember it was a big fight between my cousin and my uncle because my uncle being a cowboy and then my cousin. And I don't know, there's something about watching the game and how it brought everyone together too. I really liked, and there was like bets and competitions. And so I don't know, just as a young child going over to cousins and family and watching it, and I just kind of started watching it. And then not that I was that young, but that's also English was a second language. So it was like learning to say the jersey numbers and English and in Italian or the colors and stuff. So yeah, that's how that kind of happened. Weird, but
yeah, nothing wrong with it. We're just in our 30s, just reliving the younger days, you know. That's just how I feel, you know, because I'm in my 30s too. So it's like, you know, it's for some of those new generation fans, they don't know what it's like to win a Super Bowl. I only barely seen one, but I know what it takes. You got to go all in.
Yeah,
for that young generation fan, for those other fans, why should we be thankful for just going to the Super Bowl and NFC Championship? We deserve to win the big one.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also as you follow the team and stuff, you feel for them. Like I mean, I was bummed out when Willis Bowman, when we went to the Super Bowl and we didn't get it, right, with the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Was that?
No, like it was against the Ravens when Bolus and Willis, you know, Baltimore Super Bowl.
There we go.
That was the Super Bowl where they had a lead, but then the lights went off, and it was the weirdest Super Bowl of all time.
That one. That was the Beyonce one.
Yeah.
That's how I remember them. Yeah.
That was the most heartbreaking day of my life where I just felt like that's when my blood pressure went up that day. Because I was like, ah, and I just kept pounding the ground like, no. Yeah. But to the one against Kansas City, I can't be that upset about it. It's just why? Like we just Shanahan just messed it up. That was the only difference.
You know, this is going to sound super like crazy, and this is a reason why I do those predictions every week on my TikTok. Oh, yeah. When I watched that Kansas City that Super Bowl, it was before halftime. There was a point where I think we just scored a touchdown. Everyone came to the end zone. They took pictures, and I remember in that moment, and I hated myself for thinking this. I was like, "Oh no, we're gonna lose." There's something about
that was that cocky mentality. Yeah, that was something.
Something just happened. I was like, "Oh no," because I remember I was texting work to be like, "I need to take these days off because I need to go to the parade and stuff," right? And then I remember I was like, might not have to use PTO. Like something just didn't feel right, and I didn't want to tell anyone. And I was like, keep it to myself. And I was like, I hate that I felt like something. And you're right. Maybe it was the cockiness and maybe you felt the energy, but I was like, they just didn't. Something was up.
Yeah, I guess she comes from an old school fan base, but I guess they all know what it takes to win. But Niners got the Italian center, that John Feliciano, but isn't he? I think he's mixed Puerto Rican also.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of interesting how you kind of have a good prediction. See, that's where I kind of think maybe you'll work pretty well because you have some different knowledge of something about football. And I think a lot of people need to learn more. And I think once I give you that influence towards YouTube, maybe you'll start building your platform slowly. But I like to build a vibe, you know, build good character, good people around. And it didn't take me that long to just look at what you do. And I'm like, okay, she knows what she's talking about, so I might want to bring her on board.
Hey, I appreciate it. And it's just great to even have this opportunity. And I'm looking at the chats. You have such great fan base. And look at this. This is awesome. So
it's not as big as the TikTok followers, but it's decent enough, you know.
This is so great. So everyone that's in here, like, you guys are so awesome. That's so great. Thanks for even like welcoming me with open arms. I think that's so awesome. So thank you so much.
Oh yeah, anytime. And since we're getting close to that 30-minute mark, I know you probably got some work in a bit, but I just wanted to see how you would interact with all the people in the audience and the way you kind of present yourself. I say you definitely passed with flying colors. You've shown something a little different that I kind of appreciate. Like the question asking, you were more prepared. I wanted to see if you were unprepared. I was trying to throw you in the fire. I was going to say, you know what? Let me just do a show unannounced. Let's see if she kind of passes with flying colors. Now I just know, just set the schedule, make it all good.
So basically, I have a touchdown, is what you're telling me. This is
you got a touchdown.
Touchdown.
You got the. I guess you got a touchdown like use check. You got it right in the flying colors. He's usually the rare player that gets it all the time. But
I know, yeah, that was good to see that he got one. That was honestly, that last game, literally everyone scored except for McCaffrey. So that was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, but you know, I think a lot of it. See, a lot of these people. Some people have different opinions about TikTok, but I don't think it's overrated. They're very strict too. I've had to follow those rules a little bit. But yeah. Oh, before we end it, Granddazzer will give you maybe one or two more questions, then we're gonna end it because she's got to get to work pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay, Granddazzer, drop a question and.
Oh no, I'm nervous.
Hey, Granddazzer is the guy with the funniest, weird, funny questions. He's gonna throw it right off of you. You gotta take the challenge.
I will. Challenge accepted.
All right, Granddazzer, drop your 2 questions and see what you give her.
Don't let them be hard.
Nah, he's gonna get hard on you on that one. That guy's but he's a funny guy.
He's gonna be like, "What was the rush pass?" And I'm like, "Oh God." When it comes to numbers was never my thing.
But if not, then I guess we can end it pretty soon. But I think he's probably just thinking of a Niner question.
Trying to think of a hard Niner. Don't let it be trivia either.
Don't let it be trivia.
Oh, this is a great one. I love it. How many Niner jerseys do I own? I have a Patrick Willis jersey. I have a Kaepernick jersey, Bosa jersey. I think that's it.
You only have 3. I have a lot. I have my customized jersey. I have one of the most controversial jersey of all time. Prior to this day, I don't know. I don't want to affect people with the politics, so I try to.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what kind of lane you support, but I just did it at a controversial. I did it for funny reasons. I was just being a comedian.
I will take comedian.
I don't know, but I don't know if you have a different. I don't know if you're a Republican or some other vote, but I don't want to offend.
You know what? I love that you said that. I think we should just not talk about politics because I don't want to upset anyone either, and I don't even whatever. Oh, I have a Montana jersey too. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Montana. See,
jerseys are expensive.
Oh, she already said who was her favorite for all-time player. Yeah, Montana, right?
Montana's like who I kind of like always heard in the back of my head, and I think honestly, my mom would kill me. I think she had a crush on him when I was little. So
I mean, in the younger days, he was something else. I mean. You know, in the old days, everybody talked about Joe Namath being the guy, way back. But come on, that's like different times and different years. Now everybody kind of has a thing for Jimmy still to this day.
Garoppolo?
Yeah, I don't know why they just.
What do you mean you don't know why? Jimmy Garoppolo,
the Italian stallion guy, I guess.
Let me tell you,
the John Stamos pretty boy, I guess.
He is beyond a pretty boy. I think he's great, cool football. The boy needs to model. Let's help him out.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go into modeling. You will do successful there.
Yeah, quit the Raiders and go modeling.
Yeah, he can. But Jim, football has. I mean, there's some quite lovely, talented men on football teams. So I'm sure a lot of women appreciate that too.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say something, but now I forgot. What was it about all-time player? Oh, no, that's what I was going to say. I was at the Bengals game, and that was the game where a lot of the old Niner players were there. And guess who passes me? Montana.
Who passed?
Montana
passed by you. Didn't you do like a TikTok video at a game?
I did, and there's a picture of him. Like just past. We were in the we were breathing the same air.
Oh, so you saw Montana. Sometimes he charges for pictures. I don't know why.
He does. I think all of them do. I think
and I think to have him on your show, you have to pay him almost $1,000 an hour. Just to have him on the show.
Well, you know what? He needs money somehow. But doesn't he should be fine. right?
He's got Skechers and other commercials. I mean, then he's got the the golden wine thing that he has, the Montana whiskey, so he should be good.
Yeah, he should be. But
Yeah.
yes. I do live in Cali. I'm in the Bay.
In the Bay, like
I'm in the Bay.
yeah, and I think this is a good start so far, and I think once we figure out a schedule on a daily, we can work something. Oh, one more thing before we end it, and then we can go from here. Oh, does it have a hockey or baseball? Bet. Oh, now we can mix up a little different sports topic that you kind of like. Do you have a favorite other teams? Because for me, it's Sharks. I don't know. I'm kind of like in between the Giants when it comes to baseball, but I do like the A's a little bit. But when it comes to basketball, I know some Bay Area fans probably won't like me for this, but I am an LA Lakers fan, so just gotta throw that out there.
Hockey, I like the Sharks. I haven't been to a Shark game in a while. Sharks hockey games are fun. If you've never gone, go. They're super fun. Baseball team, I love the Giants, especially watching how we won. And Bochy just won this year. And even though he's not, on our team.
He's the Rangers, yeah.
Yeah, I just felt, I hope everyone else did. Like my heart was for him. Like I appreciate him and he deserves that. I'm not biased against the A's. I actually always feel sorry for them. There's, if the A's were to go all the way, I wouldn't be mad. Good for them.
Yeah.
And favorite soap opera.
Oh, and then he said basketball team too.
Basketball. You know what? Basketball is the one sport I'm not that into as an older adult. Young me was a very much I felt like everybody was like this, like Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen.
Mine was on the Kobe days. Kobe and Shaq never jumped ship since, stayed on that team even through the thick and thins, like when
I jumped. Then I did Kobe and Shaq, and then I did Warriors.
I guess in basketball you're a bandwagon. Okay.
Yeah, anywhere that basketball for sure. But
soap opera, I guess. Interesting.
What's your soap opera?
Like you mean like TV shows or stuff like that?
I would guess so.
I like comedy shows. I don't really like watch those dramatic shows as much, Like if I had to choose like something I enjoy watching is I don't know, since it's the most popular show since this guy passed away, I gotta say watching Friends was a good show. It was one of those good days, Then you had the 2.5 Men. I like that show. I like the old school TV shows, Fresh Prince, Seinfeld. Mm-hmm. Then you got Married with Children. I think is one of the funniest shows of all time.
Yeah. So soap opera, if I can, like the true soap opera, back in the day was like General Hospital, but I don't watch those. I agree with you with Friends. I was actually going to do a TikTok about the whole Chandler thing. Like I grew up with Friends. I watched that. But other than that, I don't watch too much stuff, but maybe if you know something good on Netflix or whatever.
Oh, have you ever checked out Cobra Kai?
No, is that good?
It's a good show. It just has the little remade of the, like the movie part, the original movie, but it makes it into like a sequel. You should definitely watch it. If you like comedy and stuff like that, it's funny.
See, good. Oh, Dark Shadow. So you give me recommendations because if it's good, I want to know. But I did watch. What did I just watch?
Yeah, I think they have 6 seasons of Cobra Kai, but check it out on Netflix. You will not be disappointed. I mean, if you like stuff with karate or something with comedy, then you'll probably enjoy it.
Comedy is good. If it's good, I will trust you,
Yeah.
This is great. I love your fans already. I love that they are, not only do we talk about football here, we're talking about Friends.
Oh, that 70s shows. I love that show too. Like Kelso is the funniest one, like Ashton Kutcher, but anytime I think of that show, I think of the guys facing charges, but
No, this is great. This is awesome. Again, thank you guys so much for welcoming me. And this was really fun. And I'm excited for this Sunday, right? It's the 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, we're going to work on something. But at the meantime, thank you guys for tuning in. I just wanted to see how she did with the co-host work. And I'll be honest, she passed with flying colors.
Touchdown. He means to say touchdown.
Touchdown. Okay, touchdown, Bella. And you know what? You came full prepared. I guess the way I looked at your work, I'm like, okay, let's see how she passes. And She passed with flying colors. She got the touchdown like Juszczyk today. So, one more thing. That's it. What was your favorite movie you last seen at theaters?
Oh, I did a TikTok about this. I just saw oh no, I just saw it too, and I did a TikTok about it. It was the Venice one. It was the murder mystery in Venice. That's the one that I did.
Okay.
That I went to theaters. I like murder mystery stuff. I always think I can figure things out.
Yeah, sounds good. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye to everybody, and look forward to